Hey there, girls. Welcome in. Have you ever gotten out of a relationship and once you were out, you looked back and asked yourself, what the hell was I doing there? You ask yourself, how was that me? I have been there. Many of us have been there. So today we're looking into that. We're looking into the process, the internal process that makes us unable to see that this relationship we are in now is terrible. Because you've been there before, you're doing inner work. The intention is not to get back there again, but on the rare occasion that you do, get into a relationship where you're not sure, because that's what happens when you're in it. When you're in it, there is a feeling. You can tell that there's something not quite right, but you don't process it in the same way as you do once you're out. In the same way that you can see your friends' relationships and think, oh my God, what is wrong with her? Why is she in that nonsense relationship? When it's you, you don't see. And they have the same perspective of you. Why is she in that nonsense relationship? We are cutting the loop. Now we are looking into the science and into the things that happen internally so that next time you can get yourself out. Welcome in. So, what happens internally when you're in a bad relationship? So, the first hooker really is sex. What happens when you're intimate with somebody is that your system that would otherwise be telling you, it has been warning you. You have at some part in your mind known that there's something off in this relationship, but because you're blindly going in, and even that has a reason. The reason you're blindly going into this relationship is that there's something that you're trying to fix. That's why we repeat these patterns of relationships. There's something probably drawing from your past that you are trying to get over. An example would be, can I have my own example? Being brought up as a good girl, I think, is a good example, because when you're brought up as a good girl, there is this other side of you. I don't want to call it the bad, but there is this side of you that you suppressed. So suppressing this side of you that wants to be less good, that does not want to conform into this box that it's been put, means that there's a side of you that has never gotten to live. And that's why the attraction to the bad boy, because the bad boy is everything that this part of you never got to live. So you find it very attractive. You're thinking that, wow, this is amazing. So you're attracted to that. And unless you first of all notice that the shadow bit of you that is the not so good girl that wants to come out and play, address it and let her come out in some other means and form, then you just unconsciously are just attracted to these guys because they're living the life that this part of you wants to live and you never let it live. So, yes, even when you are, this is just one example. There could be many other things that are causing you to get into this pattern of relationship. But because now you don't really see it, you get into the pattern of relationship. And what really cements you into that is getting intimate. Because the message you're sending into your body that was trying to warn you, or your system that was trying to warn you, this is not for us, we do not want this, get out. The system that was warning you of that now is overridden by another system that says, look, this is the life partner that has been chosen. This is a person whose children we might be getting. So we cannot now kick him out. So you loud voice that has been shouting, kick him out, you go back now. Now what we're doing is that we're trying to look at everything that is good about him because this is the choice that we have made. So blinders. They're things that you really cannot see. And I'm telling you this, don't blame yourself. This is not you. This is not me. It's happened to quite a number of us. So once you're berating yourself after leaving the relationship, this is what was going on. You really could not see at some extent because there are parts of you that are taking charge at different levels and at different times. So when the system is thinking that we need to create space for this, part of what you do not see. And I was really fascinated by this. I was reading a book that said, Let Them by Mel Robbins. And it talks about changing people. And part of what she says is that people do not hear. The person that you want to change, you want whatever it is about them that you want to change, they do not hear when you tell them certain things. They tune it out. Actually do not hear it. So that friend of yours who's telling you that you're in a nonsense relationship, you tune it out. And think back. I found that really fascinating, because if you think back, if you've ever been in such a relationship and other people tell you later that we told you, you look at them and think, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because at some point, maybe you're blaming your friends. Why didn't they tell you that you were in such a horrid relationship? And you think, and they tell you that they did, and you think, no, you didn't. It is because of that, because you tuned it out, which is truly fascinating. So it's like digging ourselves into a hole that people cannot get us out of. Our system has now also decided that this is where we need to be. So our system is also trying to hide certain facts of the relationship for us, the mind, the brain, so such that we do not see. So we're just getting more and more and more into it. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. Locks out important info. Yeah, that's what we've just been. So all is not lost. What do you do? What do you do? Because there is a part of you, honestly, that will always feel that there's something off. When you feel that there's something off, it could be, and is that where we're going? Yeah, how do you feel? So the point is to listen to your body and ask yourself, how do you feel? How do you feel after meeting him? Not your head, not what you think about it and what should it have been like, but go into your body and put your attention internally and engage with your body to understand how it's feeling. How it's feeling. Do you feel drained? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel self-conscious? Do you feel tired? Do you feel battered? Battered internally, like you've been fighting a war. How do you feel internally? And how does he make you feel? So while you're with him, just tune into yourself a little and try to understand how his presence makes you feel. And the thing with this is that some of these feelings may be very familiar, especially if there's some trauma in your background. There may be very familiar feelings of, someone once gave the example of when someone online, she was saying that whenever her father was around in the home, they always used to walk on eggshells because they never knew when he would explode. And that's something that can come up in a relationship, that you're always just tensed up around him. You're just making sure that everything is okay because you think that he might explode. So you don't always think it through, but if you do take the time to engage with how you're feeling, you might find that that is it. And the thing with these feelings is that they're familiar. You grew up in this. You're used to walking on eggshells, so that feels familiar to you. So if you ever find yourself in a relationship where walking on eggshells is not necessary, you might find it boring. You might find that it doesn't have that attraction, it doesn't have the passion, because the tension of walking on eggshells is what you're used to. And maybe how it is resolved is through some whirlwind in the bedroom. So you became used to that, and then you told yourself that this is normal. Then you need to be able to see it to understand the dysfunction, really is the word I want to use, to understand that that is not that you can have an alternative. Let me put it that way. That you need not live on eggshells, even though that is what is familiar. That there is an alternative life out there where your system is not all tensed up just by sitting next to someone. Yeah. And a part of how that is done as well, I want to take it to that, is dealing with the past issues. So going back to that little girl, your inner child, who used to walk on those eggshells, and helping her come out of that mindset, helping her understand that there are alternatives. And maybe let me just take a note on that to just mention the alternatives at the end of this, because I also want to get through these points that I have. How are there any physical manifestations? This one also really surprised me. I read this I don't know where I read this, but the fact that your body might react physically to tell you that this relationship is not working for you. If you find that your tummy is always in knots, that you actually have digestive issues, you're constipated all the time, you find that your face is breaking out. This happened to me. So when I read this book, I was like, what? Your face is breaking out? It could be because your body is telling you, We are not enjoying, we do not want this. We do not want to be here. Because now there's been this divide. Your brain is the one that is now trying to keep us going because we are thinking that this is the relationship we're in. We need to survive in this relationship. But your body is trying to tell you, no, 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 no. This is not us. This, we do not want this. So giving you little signs to help you see that this is not working. And in the book, The Body Keeps a Score, by I forget his name. Unfortunately, I'll put it in the description. So, but in that book, they do describe the fact that you can have physical manifestations of things that are happening within you internally. So there is science behind this. It's not just speak and talk. And from the trauma perspective, Dr. Gabor, he says this in The Myth of Normal, that you can, things like cancer, it's not just small things. You can have like these life conditions that you have built up over time because of the issues in you that you have suppressed. So that's why they say it's super important to deal with these issues, these childhood issues that you had that keep coming up in life. In this case, we're talking about your dating life, but looking at them and relating with them, resolving them, having this look back and conversation, and addressing your inner child, addressing your past. Through therapy, through counseling, through coaching. I am a coach, an inner work coach. There are different steps that you can take to look at those issues and have them no longer be the centerfold that is determining how you're living your life. So in this case, being dating, if your dating choices are based on this, but in all other aspects of your life, and as we've said, including disease. Now, how? So let's see. Now you've realized that there's something about the way you feel in this relationship that's off. More likely than not, your mind will still not be able to agree that it is because there's something wrong with the relationship. And we're not pushing it there. I'm not asking you to get out, not yet. What I am going to ask you to do, the things that you can do is to concentrate on you. So once you do find that there are these things and you do still feel that you're not sure, because remember, your system is divided, what you're going to do is put a bit of concentration on you. So first of all, do things for you. Do things that you enjoy and get a hobby that doesn't include him. So maybe you like singing. Join a choir and don't invite him to sit with you. Or go sing karaoke on your own without him. You enjoy walks in parks. Go for the walk in the park by yourself. Because what this is doing is that it's engaging it's engaging more of your, I want to say your body, because it's things that you're doing, yeah? It's engaging more of your body to connect to itself, to what it likes doing. And once you're getting more into your body, you're getting out, you're moving away from the mind hold that exists. This mind hold that has been telling you that we are fine, that has been ignoring all the other advice that is coming from outside and inside. In doing things that you actually enjoy, you're slowing yourself down, engaging more with yourself, and being able to feel your feelings more. And what this does is that it kind of resolves, it helps you see. It helps you see the things that you have been blind to. It helps you see these things that I won't say that you've been ignoring them. I just mean that they were not as available to you. So reconnecting to yourself helps you understand how this relationship is working for you or not. And the other thing I have there is also building another community, just having friends around you, whether or not they're telling you about this relationship, but that you're doing things with. Have a karaoke singing buddy or a choir buddy or whatever activity, walking buddy. So someone who's separate from this relationship, just build that, because the other thing that it does is it builds your self-confidence. Sometimes in these relationships, your confidence is broken at piece by piece. And depending on the kind of relationship, that might be part of what happens, that you're isolated from the community that you know. And if you are that, it's much more difficult because this person becomes the center of your life. So move away from that. Just push for yourself, strive for you. And in doing that, you'll be able to tell at some point whether this is a relationship that you want to stay in, whether there are aspects of this relationship you want to change. Because it could well be that there's nothing wrong with the guy. The guy is fine, but the relationship has turned into an avenue that is not healthy for you. So to get the confidence and the power to reverse it from that avenue and to go down the path that is more fruitful for the two of you, you need to take a bit of charge of yourself. A lot of charge. You need to be able to understand how you feel and how you're showing up and what you want. And it is only once you have that confidence that you can redirect this relationship for the two of you. Understandably, the relationship might end. And if it does end, it would not necessarily be the end of the world if you have been in relationships in the past that you looked at and realized were terrible. So to have that mind space to understand, to accept that this might be one of those relationships, to put in the effort if you feel that the effort is needed, and to choose you. This is your life. This life is yours. You're going to spend a lot of time, you're going to spend 100% of your life with yourself. So you need to cater it in a way that works for you. Yeah. I hope that this was helpful. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, and let's continue talking about relationships. The book is out, Date Like Cleopatra, The Good Girl Flips the Script by Shiro Ndune. Go check it out on Amazon. Cheers.